That wise young philosopher, Bart Simpson, is always advising us, don't have a cow, man.
But people in Rio Rancho in a subdivision there are having a cow. Over cows. Tim Maestas is on special assignment tonight to report on a growing conflict between modern suburban living and some living remnants of the Old West.
It's a normal neighborhood with some not-so-normal neighbors. Sometimes they like to pay a visit. One of the residents here says she has proof.
The truck is, pretty demolished.
Helen Breland says the truck she used to haul supplies for her business was destroyed after a run-in with a cow. Were you aware of any issue in the past with cattle in this area?
I was not.
It's been a problem for years. Cattle from the King Ranch right next to the neighborhood spilling over here into the Northern Meadows subdivision. And we know it's a problem because we've seen the proof.
Oh my gosh.
Home video shows ranch cattle roaming the streets, cow patties on the sidewalk, herds of cattle munching on front lawns like they were still out on the pasture.
I wasn't even aware that there was loose cattle.
Helen found out early this year, the day she let her brother borrow her pickup truck to head to a neighborhood convenience store. What happened that night is spelled out in this police report. Helen's brother struck a cow at the intersection of 10th Street and 28th Avenue. The investigating officer even drew up a diagram stating in the report it was believed the cow belonged to the King Ranch.
They could not find the cow. They don't know if the cow laid down and died at that point.
Helen says eventually the ranch foreman called and said the cow was found dead and the cow belonged to the King Ranch.
Got the damage in the windshield.
But that was the last time Helen heard from anyone at the ranch about the crash or the cow that caused it, and she's not happy.
Just, work with me on this.
No one at the ranch would talk with us on camera, but Donald King, one of the owners, told us there's really nothing he can do. He says they've taken measures to push the cows back and keep them in, but he says many times trespassers cut the fences out here, and he says the law is on his side.
By statutes, there's no responsibility placed on the owners of the livestock.
The executive director of the New Mexico Livestock Board says New Mexico is a fence-out state. That means if you want to keep the cattle away, it's up to you to fence them out. The Kings are not required by law to fence in their livestock.
They are not.
In the case of the Rio Rancho neighborhood, it's the city's job to control the cattle.
Mexico is a fence-out state, meaning that it's up to us to fence out the livestock from coming in. We have limited resources.
Rio Rancho police say it's not always easy.
We know that people cut through that land all the time on ATVs and four-wheelers and whatnot and cut the fence lines. Since 2007, we've had 5 or 6 incidents with cows actually being out in the Northern Meadows area.
Part of the problem is the King Ranch is so massive, 70,000 acres from the Rio Puerco to the west and the Rio Rancho city limits to the east.
Any big ranch that has cattle scattered over a very large expanse, it's not easy to keep track of everyone.
I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous.
For Helen Breland, it's clearly an issue of public safety now. No one got hurt in the crash, but what if it happens again? And what about the repair bill?
I would like to have my truck, fixed, taken care of or something.
The King Ranch has not responded to her phone calls.
It's like we're screaming into the wind and nobody can hear us.
Tim Maestas.
Yeah, I'm a little worried now.
KRQE News 13.
The Brelands recently moved out of state for business purposes. They say they are still trying to get their truck fixed, and they have contacted an attorney now.
That'll be an interesting case, but I think, in New Mexico law, the way the Livestock Bureau guy is marked right now, the Livestock Bureau man was saying it's pretty much not their problem.
Not much they can do.
The way it's set up.
Good fences,
this is cattle country.
Neighbors.